Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's you from Happiness and Crafting. So today we are going to carry on with making the little pocket pouch. Now I've done a few bits. I have made, or I have decorated some of the tags. I've got another two I would like to do just to show you how I did it, and I just think they came out absolutely beautiful. I'm loving them. So I've got two more of those to do, so I'll do those in a second. I have sewn this onto the front and I've just embellished it just a little bit on here, which I think is lovely. Now I did do a bit of a boo-boo because this piece here I was going to sew on before I sewed the pocket on, but I didn't, and then I sewed the pocket on, and then I noticed that I hadn't sewn it, so I thought, oh well, I'll just sew it straight onto here. And of course I sewed the pocket down. So if you have a look underneath here, you can see here where I could see that I've made a bit of a boo-boo, so I had to unpick it. Silly Billy, but we've got a nice pocket there now, so that's fine. I fixed it all, but I'm just thinking that's lovely. And I just did a bit of the coffee stain lace bent over, so it goes over the top like that, so that just sort of like supports that nice, or reinforces the top of that as well. The other thing I did, I've just cut off a piece of the music paper, and then I've sewn around the outside so that we can just stick that in there, just stick it in there like that. So that's our background, and it's really nice because it lines up with the rest of this. I think it was the other piece of this anyway, so that fits on there nicely, so it looks good. So that's that bit, and then before I actually stick that on, I'm going to do the back because I want to sew underneath this bit. So I'm going to pop that to the side, turn this over, and then I want to sew a little bit of embellishment on the back. I have done the little flappy bits, well I've done one anyway. So the top of this, I thought, or the back of this, whatever I did with my piece here, I've got this lovely piece, and I just thought this could go in as a little pocket like that. Now I've stuck, this is one of our little flaps, which I've already stuck that on. I sewed it around the outside of the paper before I stuck it on, and I've done the same on this one. So this is a little pocket. And I thought what I would do, I'm going to stick this down first like that, and then pop that over the top, and then we've got like a little hidden flappy pocket, not a flappy pocket, but a pocket with a little cover on it. And then along the top piece, I was thinking I'm going to sew a piece of this on, because I like this motley coffee stained paper or card. So I thought I'd put that on there, and then sew, wrinkle this up and sew that across, because I thought that would look quite nice across there. And then we can just pop, actually this one, because I've rounded off the corners on this so it doesn't get caught in there, and then we can have a couple of tags. So it's not too flippy flappy, it's quite a simple one. So what I think I might do first thing I'm going to do, I think, is just finish off these little tags. So I'm just going to show you what I've been doing, because these are really simple. So these are our nice big fat tags, and I'm loving them. So I've got two here that I'm going to finish off, and these are my journal cards. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop one there and then one there. So I've sort of got it ready, and then we're going to have a nice, that on there, that on there, and I thought I'd just pop that in the middle. So that's those, and I need just a little bit of music paper. Do you think that piece, no, those aren't long enough, I don't think. Is that piece there, is that wide enough? No, it's going to have to be this piece, so that can just fit in that little gap there. So how I've done it, I put them on top like that. I'm going to have this butterfly. I want a little gap at the side, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that over like that, and then I'm going to just cut this corner and then cut that top piece, and then when you sort of like move that down, it gives you that nice even gap around there, doesn't it? So then I'm just going to move that along just a little bit like that, and do the same on this side. Cut that down and cut that down like that. So then when we move that in, can you see it gives us that lovely edge on it? Let me just ink it to show you. Just around the edge like that. And then look, that fits on there lovely. Okay, let's get rid of these little bits there. So that's that top piece, and then I'm going to pop this on the bottom here like that. Maybe I'll just pop a little bit of lace in there. I don't think I really need any music paper. I'm going to, but then again I do need a little bit, because I'm going to, before I put these on, I'm going to sew them together. So I need to put these together so they are the right width as each other. I'm going to cut that down there. Like that. Ink around this bit and along this bottom bit. Then I'm going to just cut a little piece of this off. Oops. Just so that we can glue it down onto here. So I'm going to take these, because I want to sew around on these. I don't want to actually glue them onto this, because I don't want the stitching obviously on the back. So I'm going to just put this underneath like that. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on here. Just like that. Put that down. Stick that on. Like that. Perfect. Now what we need to do is just measure this bit. Just on there like that. So I'm going to just glue a little bit on here. I'm going to do it sideways because it's a little bit easier for me to see then. Then I don't get my big head in the way. Is that about right? And then go say there. Like that. Perfect. So we've glued it together. So we've just bridged that little gap there. Like that. Perfect. Perfect. Just so it sticks together. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a piece of something or other on here. Shall we have just a little bit of this? Look at that, just across there. Doesn't that look nice? Now I'm going to just go and sew that on the sewing machine. Okay, well I'll do that in a minute. Let's do the other tag. So what I will do, I'm going to sew this little bit of ribbon on there like that. And then what I do, I'm going to stick that to that and then sew around the outside. So that's that one done. So let's do this one. So this is really nice way of just doing a tags without, you know, with some scrap papers, isn't it? So I'm going to pop that like that. Cut that down there. Let's just move that like that. I need to do that top bit really, don't I? Let's do this first. Just move it over a little bit. Just inch it over. Alright, and then I just want to cut that little top piece off. Let's go a little bit higher. and that just comes down. Let's just ink that so you can see that. And that sits on there. Perfect. Lovely. So this piece can go on the bottom like that. So I need to round the edge there, don't I? So let's just put this together like that. Oops. So these little bits can go in my little scrap pile. I'm going to ink this, the edges, so that goes at the top. I'm going to take my little corner punch and punch little corners off so it will fit nicely there. So that looks good, and this can either go over, I think it will have to go underneath because as we're going to hide. I could put it like that. That could go over the top like that, couldn't it? What do you reckon? Let's see, let's just stick this one down. That on. So look roughly level, I think so. Then we'll stick this piece to here. A little bit of glue. Pop this on here. Oops. Without moving it. I think that's about level, isn't it? There we go. That looks about right. And then we'll just cut this little bit off like that. And then we can just ink that side bit. Perfect. Lovely. Now what I'm going to do, what should we do? Should we have a little bit of this? Does that go? That's quite nice, isn't it? Just open this up. So I'm going to go just put this through the middle. I'm going to sew these little bits together, and then I'm going to just sew this little bit, wrinkle it up and pop it through the middle so that they all sort of match, because I've got everything sort of like in the middle on these. Can you see I've just got a wrinkly bit on there? So I'm going to do the same on these. So I will be back 2 minutes. I'm just going to sew this onto here, and then I'm going to sew it onto the actual tag so they're ready. So I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, so what I have done on this one, I've actually glued this onto here and stuck it on. So I've just sewn this across there, so I'm going to sew around that in a minute. This one, again, you can see where I have just sewn these two pieces of paper together and then popped a little ruffle in the middle. So I'm going to stick this on to the tag, the actual tag, like this. And then all I've got to do then is sew around the outside and pop a little something on the top. So let's go this way, stick this on like that. So I just think they look really, really lovely, and I just love the sort of like mixed papers on there as well. So let's stick that down. There we are. I think this one's pretty stuck down. We don't need that piece. So all I need to do now is pop like a little tabby thing on the top. So what shall we have? Oh look, I've got half a piece. Should we put that on top? That might look quite nice. And what can we put on the other one? I've got a little bit of this, haven't we? Shall we just put that on there? Maybe I'll just add a little bit of the pink to go with that. Just have a little spare piece here somewhere. Where did that go? There we are. Maybe I'll just use that. So let's get a little bit of this. Just cut that off. Let's got a little bit of the 3-in-1. Blob it there. Turn it over. Oops. Stick that on. Perfect. And then what I'm going to do is just sew around this bit there, and then this will hold it on. Shall I just scrunch that up a little bit? That looks better, doesn't it? And then this one will just go all the way along. Oops. I don't want too much glue because I'm going to be sewing this, aren't I? So just needs to stick it down a little bit. That looks cool, doesn't it? Oopsie daisy. Perfect. Now I like these because they've got lots going on, but then they're very thin, if you know what I mean. There's not lots of embellishments on there, so they will slip in and out of the lovely little pocket pouch really nicely. So 2 seconds, I'm just going to quickly go around the outside. Okay, so I am loving these, love how they've turned out, love that little bit of lace at the top, like that. So now I should have 5. There we go, that's the other one. So I've got 5 beautiful tags. Now I am really liking those. Let's pop those to the side. Now let's finish this one off, shall we? These are the little flappy bits. So I've already sewn around these. All I've got to do is stick them on like that. So oops, I've made them so they obviously match just a little bit. So let's just pop a little bit of glue around here. Just a little bit of tacky glue in my bottle here, like that, and we can just pop this in there. Perfect. Take that one out a minute, squash that down, make sure we are stuck down nicely. That's just a piece of the music paper just made into a pocket. So we'll pop this, because these go like that, don't they? So this has to sit this way. So you could even make this into sort of like a little pocket, or put pockets on the front of this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it down. I don't want this to be too complicated. I want it to be quite a simple one. Because if you're new at starting out doing this, this is quite an easy one to follow. I popped a list of the papers that I've used under the video, but again, you just use whatever papers you've got, like that. But I do love these papers. Now, because these aren't going to be sewn on here, but you can sew them if you wanted to, make sure you've got lots of glue on there and really squash them down. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, that's those done. That was pretty simple, wasn't it? Now back to our little folder, our little pouch, loving it. Now I'm going to stick this, like I said, that's going to go on the inside, but we don't want to do that yet. We need to do this back piece. And it keeps coming off, you stay on there, so we don't dry up. Now I've got this great big bundle of it here, haven't I? Actually, that piece is quite nice, isn't it? Don't want anything too big. What was the bit that I was going to use? Should I just use this little elasticatey bit? And then I'm going to just wrinkle this up and sew that across there, like that, because what I've done I did another piece here where I've sewn it onto the paper. I got a video on how I do that because this piece is going to go on the front. So all as I do is tear this off like that, and then we've got our little ruffle. So I'll link the video on how I make these as well, because I've got lots and lots of these. I love them, but not in this colour. So this is what it's going to look like that. But I've made this one already because I don't want to sew on the front. I want to put this on like this, and because I'm going to just put this and stick this on across there like that, which I think would look really pretty. So it will just cover where I've stitched underneath as well, like that. So that's the plan. Take that out so I don't sew that. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on here. Loving that. Let me find the other end. There we go. Pop a little bit of glue. It will come out. Just to hold it in place, not too much. And just stick that on. Just like that. Chop it off. So what I will do now, I'll just pop to the sewing machine and sew that across there like that. Okay, but I'll wrinkle it all up, so I will be 2 seconds. Okay, so there we go. I think that looks really pretty, doesn't it? So a nice little wrinkly bit on there. Let's cut these little pieces off. And this side. Lovely. So can you see I've got a little stitch mark across there, which we don't really want, do we? So we need to hide that with this on there. And can you see this is just where the little stitching is here, so then we can hide it by popping this piece along there, and we can just stick this along there. So this looks like it's been sewn on. I could have sewn, you can't, well, not really, you can't really sew both of them together. It would be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? So shall we just stick this on? Now let's just make sure I'm not going to be doing anything else on there. I don't think so, because we just want to sew on the little pocket bit at the back in a minute. So let's just get this piece down. Now I'm going to use my bigger bottle just to pop some glue on here, because it's going to take a little while with my other one, I think, otherwise. Let's go right to the edge. That will do. Put that one there. Lid on. Stick that down. This bit's going to be hidden anyway underneath it, because that's the flap's going to come up, but we just want to make sure it's stuck down nicely. Perfect, there we are. Lovely, lovely. So then that will come up. So doesn't that look nice? I've got a little bit of cotton there. Oh, but then I'm going to stick this over the top, so you won't see it anyway, will you? Right, I'm going to pop that there, and then this will just go all the way along. Love it. Love, love, love. Let's get our 3-in-1. Pop a little bit down there. I'm not going to do it all in one go. Let's just stick that. Just so that I can make sure I get it in a nice line across here. Stick that down, oopsie daisy. That sort of level, a bit wibbly wobbly, isn't it? But that's okay. That's good. Lovely. Put that up there. Take this and just trim that little piece off, and this little piece there. Loving this colour with the brown. I think that looks really beautiful, doesn't it? Loving it. Look at that. Okay, that's our little decoration at the top. So I'm going to now, we need to put this pocket on, but I think I need to put these on first, don't I? So that these were not sticking over the top of those. So shall we put it so the bigger one is over the top like that? Now I'm going to do a little Velcro fastener, I think, because I can put that there. And then we can just stick these. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna stick them on. I'm gonna stick them on with my glue. What did I do with that? This one. Because it's paper to paper, this sticks really well. I'm going to pop that on there. Because when I sew it together, I can sew these flaps on, because this has got to be sewn around this yet. Just make sure we're up the right way. Okay. Stick that down. And you see, so when I go around the edge, I can actually stitch this on. So this pocket will be a little bit stronger on there. Well, not pocket, but the little flap. Like that. And then we will stick this side down. There we go. Oops. Lovely. Doesn't that look good? So these can just flap over the top. I do like that. Okay. Shall we put this in the middle? Which way? I don't know whether there's a back and a front. I think it goes this way actually. Right, so this is just going to be stuck down. Now I'm just going to stick this on. And then we've got a lovely little pocket and I can stick that. I could actually sew this little bottom bit on. Couldn't I? But I think that will look nice. Do you think we could pop a little bit of this on? No, I think it'll be a bit overkill then. Right, let me just get my fabricy scissors, because I think this will cut a little bit easier with these. Make sure we are level. Not quite straight, was it? Let's just cut that little bitty bit off, and then we can stick this down like that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now I think I need something in the middle bit, don't we? What's that? That's a little leftovery bit. Should we just use the little leftovery bit on there with a few little roses? That looks pretty, doesn't it? So I'm going to cut 5 of those off. I'm going to sew this on to here. I'm going to pop a little blob of glue. Actually, what about, do you think this is going to be too heavy? Yeah, I think this is quite heavy. I don't want it to sort of pull that down the pocket. Just going to just stick, oh, if the glue will come out. Don't care if it's looking raggedy. Well, I'm going to stick that on. I'm going to sew that on, I mean, and then I'm going to pop that on the top. I will probably stick the little flowers on because they don't sew very well because they're a little bit thick. So let me just quickly go along there with the sewing machine. Okay, so that was quick, just a quick stitch across there. Cut this bit off. Oopsie daisy. And then I will, oh, it's already been cut off. I'm going to stick this on now, and then these will just close up like that. Lovely, isn't it? Should we go down this side first? How much is it? Just here. Just a tiny bit, because we are going to be stitching it, aren't we, down there? Now, shall I stitch along the bottom? Because I could open this up and just stitch along here, because you're not going to see it anyway. Maybe I will do that because I think that will hold it on a little bit better, won't it? So let me just turn this over. Lots of sewing in this one, isn't there? Shall I just go along here? I'm just going to go stitch along there. All right, 2 seconds. Okay, so that was pretty simple. It's got a little bit of a bit. Do you think that looks really nice though, doesn't it? Doesn't matter that it's a bit baggy, I don't think, unless I can just stitch it, because these are coming across to hold that in as well. Now where's my little tags? Let's pop all those over there. I've got the tags with the rounded corners on, so they don't get caught. So look at that, don't they look lovely? So they will fit in there. That goes to the front, and then these like close up. I love that. Look at that, looks so pretty, doesn't it? So that's perfect. So now what we need to do, oh look, I could put that on there as well, couldn't I? Right, before I put that on there, I could put one on each. That's a good idea. I am going to leave these flaps open, and then I'm going to sew all the way around here, just so that we've got our pouch now. And that's all we're going to do, and then it will hold these on as well. Let me just glue that down so it doesn't get caught. just a tiny bit, not too much. So I do like that, that looks lovely. So make sure before I start sewing, yes, I don't think I need anything else on there, do I? Okay, I'm going to stitch around it, so 2 seconds. There we go, perfect. So now we have our little pouch, and that looks really nice around the outside. Let's just go around this side. I've got bits of thread on here. Perfect. Gosh, my floor's got lots of bits of thread all over it now. Loving this. So let's go around this way. That will go down, and then that will go down. So I'm going to pop one of these little, just a tiny little Velcro fastener on here. So I can just pop it here. Once they're together, let's make sure they're stuck together. Now these are really, really sticky. Like that. So I want to pick them off together. Just pop it on there, like that. And then stick that on there. There we go. And you can hardly see it on there, look. So when you close it up, that just sticks and it holds it lovely. So shall we stick this on here? Now I've actually got my glue gun. My glue gun's on, so I'm going to stick it with the glue gun. Like that. Let's make sure it doesn't go through. Perfect. I love this. Turn this over. Now we need another little bit. That was the other one. Is there another one? Should we pop that on there? Gosh, I need to find my glue sticks because I'm going to run out of glue gun. Let's stick that there. That looks lovely, doesn't it? Shall we just stick something? What have we got? What tags was I going to pop in here? Let's just open this up. I'm going to pop that one there and that one there. Just love these tags. Oh, I'm really pleased how this has come out. I would like to add maybe something up here, something a little bit shabby in the corner. Let's cut these little bits off. Do you like that, or shall I? Actually, what I could do, that would look quite nice on there, wouldn't it? I did make a little one of these I was going to put on there. Like that. I quite like that great big bit. I think I'm going to do that. Let's stick this on there. And a little bit on here. Then I just need something really to go in the middle of that, don't we? Oh, I like that. Let's pop a few little of our journal cards in there just to finish it off. Let's see. Oh look, that fits perfect. Should we just have that one in there? And then we can have a little postcard this side, can't we? Let's have some little shoes. Oh, that's pretty. Should we have a lovely pink shoe in there? That looks good. can always add more little journal cards into this as well, because I do love that. Look at that, doesn't that look so pretty? Right, I've got my big fat one here, that can go in that front pocket there, and then we have the two big ones. So again, super simple, because it's just great big tags, and I'm loving it. So there we go guys, all finished. That didn't take too long at all, and I am loving it. Look at that, so pretty. Maybe I'll find something, but then again, it doesn't really need anything in there, does it? Love it. So there we go guys, that is the end of our lovely little pocket pouch. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I loved making it. I do love making things as I go along. And thank you so much for joining me. Take care, stay safe, have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you soon. All right guys, bye bye.